Yo, what's going on guys? Fishy Jersey here, back with another video, and as you can see, my tank is all set up with loads of plants, and you even see some fish swimming around in there. So today I really want to talk about what has really happened since my last video all the way up until today. So my last video I did mention getting a new tank. This is the Fluval Flex 15 and I absolutely love this tank. Now the reason I did not film the setup for you guys is because since this is my first legit planted tank, I really want to focus on the build itself without any distractions such as, the tripod being in the way, having to stop my work and, get good camera angles. Since this is my first tank build, with plants and all that, I wanted to just focus on creating a good environment for my fish. Now, along the way, there's two major issues or problems that occurred. The first being when I planted everything and I slowly put the water in, the spiderwood and all the plants floated right up to the top of the tank, causing the water to become extremely murky from the substrate. Now, I had to wait about a day before I could set the tank up. It was very frustrating, but had to wait that day, set it back up, and then of course 2 days after I set the tank up again, the top right of my tank started to leak water. Now I had to drain about half of the water, and then the next morning I went to the pet store and I exchanged the tank for free. Got home, set it up again, and this is what I came up with. So there is 2 pieces of spiderwood to be exact. There's loads of plants around it, and of course some rocks scattered around. So there is some anubias in there, there's some java fern, I believe it's called hydro, on the left and right corner, and then some taller stem plants in the back center. Now the plants have been doing extremely well actually. I have been using Aquarium Co-op's Easy Green as fertilizer, and then the plants have been doing really well. I had to trim actually the plants in the back center because they were just growing like crazy. So I trimmed those last week, and then you do see some algae actually growing on those plants in the back. So that actually started to develop probably 4 or 5 days ago, and I definitely plan on cleaning all that up along with those particles that you see floating around the water column. I plan to clean all that up here in the near future when I do this next water change. The only other thing I have to mention is the plants do look kind of dirty. That is because, especially the nubias, looks like the leaves are really dirty. That is because when everything settled to the bottom, a lot of the dirt and dust or whatever settled, from the substrate settled onto all the leaves, causing them to look that way. So I definitely plan on cleaning all that up and making the tank look really, really nice. So as for the fish, I did get pea puffers. I absolutely love the puffers. They all have their own little personality, and it's kind of funny because they already established their own little territories, and they actually aren't that aggressive with each other, to be honest. They actually swim around alongside each other a lot throughout the day. So it's actually like pretty fascinating to watch them do their thing throughout the day. The only thing I would say is make sure if you are getting a puffer tank that you have lots of plants and hiding places, because I did notice that these guys absolutely love all the plants that I have in here, the driftwood, the rock, the little caves, and all that. So another thing that I did add for them were little snails. So I added about 20 snails in the tank, just for a snack throughout the day if they wanted to pick at them and eat them. But I also added them just so they can be stimulated throughout the day. They can kind of hunt around the tank looking for those little guys and then pick them off whenever they come across them. So as for food, I do feed them snails, and then also I feed them once a day using bloodworms. So that's the only thing that they'll eat in terms of food right now is snails and bloodworms, which is pretty normal for these guys. But other than that, they're really, really healthy. The water The parameters are great. The pH is sitting around 7.5, 7.6. As for the filtration, I did make some minor upgrades. I added some filter floss in between the intakes on the bottom and top, and then I added a thick piece of filter floss between chambers 1 and 2. And then lastly, I did add some ChemiPure green in chamber 2. So that's all that I've done in terms of filtration. I might do some other minor upgrades later on, but right now that's kind of what I'm working with. So yeah, guys, everything looks really, really good. As for other fish, I have thought about possibly getting some auto syncluses. I've been reading and doing research actually a lot about those guys, and I have read that puffers and autos can coexist, but a lot of times it depends on the fish. So from what I've been watching, these puffers aren't too aggressive with each other, and they were actually in a tank with another fish at the pet store. So it was actually a pleco. So they were already living with a pleco with no issues. So maybe in the near future I will try to snag a few autos and test it. So definitely stay tuned for some future videos. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button and definitely subscribe for more. Since I do have this tank, I will definitely be pumping out videos for you guys, and I definitely have some future plans, brainstorming for some future builds. So definitely stay tuned for that. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave it down below and I'll get back to you ASAP. Until next time, guys, peace out.